Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys we are going to be doing a deck profile of a really cool deck that I've actually been wanting to profile for a while, but there was a lot of support coming out for it this past year, so I wanted to wait until all the support really came out and then profile the deck for you then. And that is my Generator deck profile. This deck is just, I like the artwork and the playstyle of this deck. It's very unique in the fact that it has all these huge, big boss monsters, which technically you can tech into other decks out there. That's something I've done in the past. But together they can form their own deck. It's like a big boss monster deck that revolves around level 9 monsters, which is really cool. You know, we have level 10 trains, right? But the level 9 slot in Yu-Gi-Oh! There really hasn't been anything to use for that for quite some time, really. And this deck is really cool in the fact that it can do that. It can bring out these big boss monsters and do a lot of cool things. It sort of reminds me of the Elemental deck where you could bring out these big monsters, but more so in the fact that your majority of your main deck is, well, big boss monsters with cool artwork and just look awesome. For a deck that has artwork, I have to say it's so badass looking, some of these cards. So, without further ado, let's get into the deck profile. We'll talk about it. Like I said, this is a fun deck of mine that I've been playing around with, and I've had a lot of fun enjoying playing it. So, first we run 3 Boss of the Storms, which is freaking badass looking. We run 2 Boss of the Storms. He's going to help you rip cards out of your opponent's hand, destroy things of that nature. He's pretty much, I would say, quote-unquote, your boss monster of your main deck for the most part, because he does have the biggest body overall. Like, he has 3,000 attack, 3,000 defense, that booty. It's pretty big. So, for that reason, he's pretty much your boss monster of the deck, Boss of the Storms. So, definitely a staple 2 of. A lot of the generators, the boss ones, that are really good, I like running as 2 ofs. So that's what you're going to see here as we continue on this deck. So 2 of him. Next I run Hela, Boss of Doom, which is my favorite artwork of all the boss monsters. Kind of reminds me of Hela from Thor of Ragnarok, kind of in a way, I guess you could say. In a way. So that's probably one of the reasons why I really like it. But it's a staple 2 of in the deck. She's going to help reborn things from your graveyard and do things of that nature. Kind of actually is a good tech in some zombie-based decks I've talked to some friends about, who I know are trying it out. But besides that, she is a good staple 2 of in this deck, I feel like, in that aspect of helping to reborn things. She does have a 2,800 butt, so she got a big booty. So for that reason, you can put her in defense mode and keep reborning stuff. So, nice card. Next we run 3 Mardel, I can never pronounce this one properly. Mardel Generator of Boss Light. Now this card actually was the most expensive for a while because it was being teched in some plant engines for some times. Now nowadays people like running Mardel as a 1 of to 2 of. When this deck initially came out, people were running Mardel as a 3 of staple. Nowadays, I see 2 to 1 of, and I understand why. There's a bunch of different ways to search things out, tutor things out from your deck. Me personally, though, I'm liking 2 Mardel in my deck. If you want to run it as a 1 of, I completely get it. I understand that. But me personally, she's one of those type of ones that I like running as a 2 of in the deck. She's pretty much your searcher monster of the deck, and is very beautiful artwork, but that's the reason I run her, is because she's a searcher as a 2 of. But you can run her as a 1 of if you want. Next we run 1 Utagath, a Generator Boss of Delusion, which is going to help banish monsters from your field. It's a good 1 of. Then we run 1 Generator Boss of Ice. This can stop summonings, so this is kind of like a solemn warning on wheels for your deck. These are 2 just 1 ofs we run in the deck. Like I said, I like running doubles of a lot of the main generators, you know, ripping cards out of your opponent's hand, destroying stuff, reborning stuff, searching stuff. These ones are good, but they're good of 1 ofs because you can banish and then stop summonings. So that's why these are 1 ofs compared to the other ones, because they're a little bit more niche to some degree. So, yep. Next up we run pretty much your lone fire for the deck, I quote-unquote call it. Lotepar, Shadow of Generator Bosses. This is sort of kind of like your lone fire for the deck. This is going to help tutor out your bigger boss monsters in a way. and it's a staple 3 of, in my opinion, hands down. Great card. You can tutor this card out onto the field in some ways through using Condemned Witch, which is really nice. So you can definitely do that. But there are some cool ways you can easily get this guy out, abuse him, and help get Generators onto the field easily. Other card I was about to mention to you guys is Condemned Witch. We run it as a 3 of on the deck. This is going to help you search either if you have Forbidden Droplets, which I do not have Forbidden Droplets. You can run it in the deck as a 1 or 2 of. You can help search that out, or it can help search out Forbidden Chalice to help stop, monster effects. And you don't worry about the attack boost that they're going to get from Forbidden Chalice, because all your monsters are big attack monsters. So you can easily just run around or run over just about anything. So really great card in the deck as a 3 of to help spring things out into the field. I feel that this is a staple in this deck as a 3 of. Next we run double Tristan Heracti. Now this card recently just came out, and initially I didn't know about this card really until I started looking at it, and I was like, oh, I thought this was a Generator monster, and then I put it to the side and I came back to it and I said, it's not a Generator, it's not but it is a pretty good card that works well with them, and I've seen other people use it as a tech, as a 3 of and 2 of. This is going to work with your field spell, with your tokens actually. So this is going to work with your Generator tokens that you have that are going to just keep piling onto the field, and then you can just easily bring this bad boy out and use its effects. And if you guys are not familiar with the effects, I'll read the 2 effects that are the main ones we use. 2 monsters, destroy 1 card on the opponent's side of the field. 3, draw 2 cards your opponent uses the effect once per turn. And you can easily bring this out by tributing up to 3 fairy monsters, and depending upon this, how many you tribute, when this card leaves the field, you either get to destroy stuff or draw cards. Pretty easy with the ability that you can generate Generator tokens. Haha, puns, right? But yeah, so definitely a staple 2 of, really good card in the deck. It's an honorary Generator monster in my opinion, and works very well with this deck. For hand traps, because we need to run some hand traps, guys. We run 3 Ash Blossom. You can run DD Crows, Ghost Ogres, whatever you want to run for hand trap wise. You can run it. You can side deck it out, whatever you have. Me personally, I like Ash in my main deck because it's going to hurt just about any deck out there. So staple 3 of in my estimation. Next we run 3 Generator Boss Quest, which is, oh my gosh, an amazing card. This is an amazing Searcher-esque card. Just good. Just straight up, you run 3 Boss Quest. No doubts about it. Really staple card in the deck. Amazing. Just probably one of the best searches I've ever seen because of its ability to just reveal Generator from hand, and if you do, add up to 2 Generator spells or traps. That's just broken. Next we run 3 Generator Light Stage, which is going to help generate tokens, and 1 Terraforming as well, just to search it out. Now, it is fairly easy to search this using Boss Quest. You get to put one of the revealed cards at the bottom of the deck with Boss Quest, but you have Boss Quest that can search this out. So I'm still running the Terraforming just in case, so you can easily get to this card and get your setups going. But staple 3 of in the deck, and 1 Terraforming to help search it out just in case. Next we have a card that was pretty much made for this deck, which is 3 World Legacy Monstrosity. This card was made for this deck. Like, I don't know how much to describe it except saying this card was made for this deck to help get your big Generator boss monsters out onto the field. So that's what this card does. Helps get your big Generators onto the field. And from your hand too, which is cool. 2 Kajikuri Curse. Some people run this as a 2 of and 3 of, and some people don't even run it at all. They prefer to run Pot of Extravagance and things of that nature, which is perfectly fine if you wanted to, but I do use the extra deck fairly often, so I wanted to go with Kajikuri Curse because this is pretty much a draw card for this deck. If you don't know what Kajikuri Curse does, I'm going to read it to you guys very quickly here. Send 1 level 9 monster from your hand or face up on the field to the graveyard, then draw 2 cards. It's a draw card for the deck. So usually if you have too many level 9s, you're going to pitch it, draw 2 cards. It's a trade-in pretty much for the deck. It's a staple I feel like 2 or 3 of. Some people run 3. If you're running more level 9s, maybe you do that. But personally, I prefer it as a 2 of in the deck, just to help unbrick hands. Next, I run 2 Forbidden Chalice. Like I said, if you have Forbidden Droplets, you can run Forbidden Droplets. I probably wouldn't run Forbidden Lance anymore, but Chalice is really good in this deck, personally, and I've talked to some buddies of mine, and from playtesting, I kind of said to myself, I like Forbidden Droplets in this deck as I was testing it, but at the same time, I do like Chalice because I want to negate my opponent's monster effects, right? And I don't mind about giving the 800 attack bonus because usually I can run over that monster. And I would rather not them get their effect off. So I'm going to be honest with you. I would understand if you prefer Chalice over Droplets. Don't just think because Droplets is meta right now that Chalice is any less better in this version of the deck. You could run both. You could play test it out. But I'll be honest, I was on the fence if Droplets or Chalice was better in this deck. In the long run, I'm going to be honest with you, because of the fact that it really didn't matter about the 800 attack boost, and this was just a searchable effect negation, which was nice. Next, we have one Called by the Grave because you want to protect yourself from hand traps, so we're running 1 of that. 1 Upstart Goblin, make it a 39 card deck, why don't you? And 1 Monster Reborn because why not? It's a great card to reborn big monsters. So that's pretty much your staple 1-ofs. There's some really good, powerful spells in this deck, but, you know, if Nobleman comes out, maybe you want to run Nobleman in the deck. You play around with the deck ratios, but Upstart's really good, and Monster Reborn, self-explanatory, I feel like. Next, we run 3 Generator Boss Fight, which is really good because this is just a great card to have, trap-wise. If you guys are not familiar with this deck that much, I'm just going to read it to you quickly. Activate 1 Generator field spell directly from your deck or graveyard, then your opponent draws 1 card. You can only activate 1 Generator Boss Fight once per turn. So the fact is, like I said earlier, you have multiple ways to search your field spell out. So I would honestly say you can easily get to your field spell first turn with the ability of having, you know, you can easily search out, add this back to your hand, but you have Terraforming, you have Generator Boss Crest, and you have Generator Boss Fight. So you're going to get to your field spell, and if it gets destroyed, you can easily get it back onto the field. So, yeah, guys. Staple 3F in my opinion. And then I also run 1 Generator Boss Room. This is just a good 1-of to have in the deck for its ability. So that's all. I didn't want to go into too much detail because this is, like I said, this is one of those type of decks that's fairly new. Most people out there know what it does already. So I don't feel like I need to go into detail as much. So we got our Generator token, guys. We have 2 Jormungandr, Generator of the Boss Eternity. I think that's Jormungandr. I think that has to do something with Norse mythology. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. But 2 of Jormungandr. 2 True Killings of All Calamities. It's pretty much skill drain for this deck. These 2 I go for a lot. We have 9 Lives Cat, which is a really cool card to run in the deck as a 2-of. We also run Infinite Tracker Earth Slicer, which is easy to get out, and it's a nice card to go for. Phantom Fortress Etherblake. This is a card that I was I ran it at 2-of, and then I cut it out for some other stuff, but you could easily run this card as a 2-of in this deck. It's a really good, underrated, powerful card. Now the fact that we have a level 9 base monster deck that can easily go for level 9s for the most part. And this card is one of those cards I always said, hey, if they ever make a level 9 deck, this will be playable. So it's good in here in the deck. So 1 of that. For Link monsters, this is all for your Exceed monsters, your True Killings, your Jormungandr, Generator Boss Monster, your 9 Lives Cat, your Infinite Tracker Earth Slice, and your Phantom Fortress level 9 card. But we have for your links, we have Underclock Taker, which has helped me win some games. So I do like the Underclock Taker in the deck. You don't have to run it. If you wanted to run another Phantom card, you could. But I like this because this has won me some games. Cerberus and Phoenix to help get around pesky problems, back row, and monsters. Unicorn to help get rid of problematic monsters. Blackluster Soldier for your another level 3 that we run because it's easy to go for this card, I find. Also, we run 1 Axis Code Talker and 1 Bull Sword Dragon, just for your level 4s that you can go into. So in a nutshell, guys, that's the deck profile. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. This deck is fairly straightforward for the most part, I feel like. It's a cool deck. I just like it because it's really a boss monster based deck. Like, it's a boss, you know, I've heard monster mash decks before, if you guys are familiar with old school Yu-Gi-Oh deck builds, but this is kind of like a boss monster mash deck in a way, and I've liked playing it for that reason, because these monsters have powerful effects, and hopefully the deck gets more support in the future to help it out. But it's a really cool deck, and it's been cool to see all this indirect support come out for it over this past year. So hope you guys enjoy this deck profile, and until next time, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling to all of you, and I'll see all of you guys next time. Take care, everybody.